All right, so this white woman was upset when this black woman beat her in tennis. She says, no class, no education. The same tired playbook they've been running for centuries.
A white woman can't stand that a black woman beat her in the game of tennis. Let's talk about it. Hey beautiful people, how you are doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome to my channel. How have you all been? Hope you guys are doing great. So today's video, we want to talk about a conversation and a video that's gone viral and everybody's talking about it. So it's a video of the tennis player Taylor Townsend and Jalena Osapanka. Sorry if I murdered the name, but apparently these two women were playing. They are both a professional tennis player, and they had a match where Taylor Townsend beat Jalena hands down. And rather than telling her to shake her hands and like, you know what, good game and go, Jalena started lashing out on Taylor. I start calling her and telling her how uneducated she is and how she doesn't have class, and talking about how we'll see when we get out of the US. But this has also struck the conversation of how black women are being looked upon, and even when black women attain success, it's being looked down upon because they feel like we don't deserve it, and not realizing that as a black woman, we need to work 10 times harder than our other counterpart, whether being white, mixed, Hispanic. We work 10 times harder to even get to that place. So this has struck the entire conversation. So anyway, guys, we're going to show a clip from this match, then Taylor's press conference addressing or giving a take on this, and then people's reaction to it, and then I'll come back and share more of my thought. But you go down and let me know what you guys think.
I can't speak on what her intentions were. I can only speak on how I handled the situation. And how I handled it is someone who's upset about the outcome that occurred. You lost, and you're upset about that. Saying I have no education and no class, I don't really take that personally because I know that it's so far from the truth and so far from anything. And again, if I allow what other people have to say about me affect me in that way, then they win. So ultimately, no, I stood up for myself, and I kept in my mind in that moment how I wanted to portray myself and how I wanted to show up. And if my son were to see this interaction, how would he view it? And I think he would be proud of the way that I handled the situation. I'm very strong. I'm very proud as a black woman being out here representing myself and representing us in our culture. And I make sure that I do everything that I can to be the best representation possible every time that I step on the court and even off the court. So I can't speak on how she felt about it. That's something that you're going to have to ask her. I didn't take it in that way. But also, you know, that has been a stigma in our community of, you know, being non-educated and all the things when it's the furthest thing from the truth. Yeah. And the thing that I'm the most proud of is that I let my racket talk, because ultimately I'm the one here sitting in front of you guys, moving on to the next round, getting the next check, moving on, being able to still be here and speak to you guys. And that's what's the most important. She's packed up and she's gone. I'm here. And that's the only thing that matters. So whether it had racial undertones or not, that's something that she could speak on. But the only thing that I'm worried about right now is continuing to move forward through this tournament. I know that I'm a fantastic tennis player, and I know that I have a lot of things that I want to accomplish. And this is another stepping stone. It's another brick that I'm laying on my foundation, or on my road to greatness, you know. And so ultimately, you know, whatever it is that it is, I don't take any offense to it, but I'm really proud of the way that I handle myself. And, you know, more than anything, if my son sees that, I know that he'll be proud of me as well. And that's what matters the most.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. So Taylor Townsend and Ostapenko just played, and Ostapenko, I believe that's how you say her name, she just lost. And this is, I don't know if you guys saw, but yes, this happened like 30 minutes ago, but they got into a little altercation because Ostapenko was angry, as you can see in the picture. But this is what Taylor Townsend said that she said when they questioned her about the altercation. She told me that I have no class, I have no education, and to see what happens when we get outside the US. I'm looking forward to it. I beat her in Canada outside the US, so let's see what else she has to say. First off, no class, no education. Just call her what you want to call her. Yeah, why don't you do that? Like, I'm truly curious as to what made you say that? What made you feel that way? Because you got beat? Like, giving poor sport, giving jealousy. It's giving a little racist too, if I'm being completely honest. Because what do you mean no education? Because I beat you?
Or because I'm black.
No class because she was probably cheering and happy for herself? You lost, so you should probably go back, practice, and while you're practicing tennis, you should probably go work on your attitude. Yeah, no class, no education. Yeah, you threw me all the way off.
The disrespect that Taylor Townsend experiences is a tale as old as time. There are white people that are shocked that Jalena Ostapenko behaved like that, and there are black women who were like, that's a Tuesday. White women are like that all the time. They're not just like that when you catch them on camera. They're like that all the time. They cannot handle not being better, even when they actually are not better. You saw how she was like, it's because you're uneducated. What does her education level have to do with the fact that she whooped your ass on that field? What does that have to do with anything? On the court, you got schooled. That was all the education she needed. You got to see what her education was like. And the crazy part is, Taylor Townsend was so just well kept together. I don't have that skill. You're not about to yell at me in any capacity, but you about to yell at me after I beat your ass. I am liable to full on laugh. I will laugh till you cry. But to hold it together like that, Taylor, you got skill. You got more skills than Jalena will ever have, okay? She could never hold a candle at all to what you got going. But white women, yeah, that's what y'all look like. That is what y'all look like.
Sister Taylor, you handled yourself with great class dealing with the Ostapenko. You did wonderful, and kudos and congratulations to you, not only for your win, but how you handled that, because all of that pointing that Sister Ostapenko was doing, oh, ooh, child, thank you, Jesus, for not allowing me or putting me in predicaments that will cause me to have to put my Holy Ghost on a shelf, because I tell you, that pointing would have got me.
And another thing, because I'm mad all over again. That finger that Ostapenko was pointing, I'm going to give Taylor the award for patience, because when you start waving that little finger around in my face, I'm going to snatch it. And then we tussling on the court. then it's rolling around on the hard court, because security needs to get involved, because why is your finger over here? Why you pointing over here? Why you pointing over here?
Face, yeah.
Who you think you are? Let me calm down. Because each social media account that I go to, I see the clip again and again. And I get mad all over again. As mad as I am about this goddamn pimple that won't go away. But patience on 10 for Taylor. I applaud her for that. Child, if they play each other in the doubles, it's going to be towards the end. Let me pray everybody's strength.
Jalena Ostapenko has always been fiery, but this is beyond fiery. Telling Taylor Townsend she has no class, no education, and to see what happens outside the US wasn't just rude. It stinks of something deeper.
Some people say bad things. She told me I have no class, I have no education, and to see what happens when we get outside the US. So
let's not dance around it. This reeks of racism and elitism. When a white European player tries to reduce a black woman to uneducated, and classless, that's beyond trash talk. That's coded language. It's the same tired script Black athletes have had to hear for decades. That no matter how talented, how skilled, or how accomplished you are, you're still painted as lesser. And coming from Ostapenko, a player known more for her tantrums than her consistency on the court, it's laughable. She's the one pointing fingers about class while acting like the loudest, most unprofessional player on the circuit. The projection is astounding. Taylor Townsend, on the other hand, didn't scream. She stood firm because she's been through worse than bitter comments from fading champions. Taylor Townsend has survived a system stacked against her, pushed through body shaming, fought for her spot, and thrived. That's real class. That's real education. In resilience, in perseverance, in excellence. The truth, Ostapenko embarrassed herself. She thought she was cutting down Taylor, but all she did was expose her own ignorance.
All right, so this white woman was upset when this black woman beat her in tennis. She says, no class, no education. The same tired playbook they've been running for centuries. When a black woman shows up prepared, dominant, and unshakable, watch how quickly they scramble to tear her down with the oldest trick in the book. What happened to Taylor Townsend isn't an isolated tennis moment. It's the blueprint they use everywhere. The boardroom, the courtroom, the classroom, the operating room. Anywhere we dare to excel, they're ready with the same script. Question our intelligence, attack our character, and act shocked when we refuse to shrink. Here's what they don't want you to understand. Racism doesn't clock out when you become your own boss. It doesn't take a vacation when you're chasing your dreams. It shows up in a venture capital meeting. It shows up in a client negotiations. It shows up when you're trying to secure the contract, that partnership, that opportunity you've earned 10 times over. They've perfected the art of moving goalposts. First, we're not qualified enough. Then we're too aggressive. We're not collaborative enough, but also we're not leaders. We don't fit the culture, but we're also trying too hard to fit in. The contradictions aren't accidental. They're tactical. And here's the most insidious part. They've conditioned us to question our own selves, to wonder if maybe we really are too much, to internalize their projections and apologize for our excellence, to accept crumbs while watching mediocre counterparts feast at the table we built. We're dismantling that condition right now. Every black woman watching this has been Taylor Townsend in some arena. You've delivered excellence and watched them scramble to diminish it. You've been the most qualified person in the room and you still had to prove you belong there. That's exactly why I created How to Survive Racism at Work, because we need more than just awareness. You need strategy. We need tools. We need a blueprint to protect our peace while also securing the bag. Your excellence is not negotiable. I'm Madam President with a Z, and I'm 100% politically incorrect. And the next time you win, don't even give the loser the chance to see you in your eyes.
So let's break this all the way down. So Taylor Townsend just beat Jalena Ostapenko in straight sets at the US Open yesterday. And instead of shaking hands like a professional, Ostapenko walks up and says, you have no class, no education. Let's see what happens when we play outside the United States. So while she's saying this, she's literally pointing at Taylor's face and jabbing her finger down toward her like she's trying to shrink her, put her in her place. That's not just disrespect, it's intimidation. It's visual domination. And when it's done to a black woman on a world stage, it's not just personal, it's political. Telling a black woman she has no education is not random. That's a dog whistle. It's the same rhetoric that's been weaponized for centuries to strip black women of our intellect, our value, our place. And it's always used when we win, when we disrupt the narrative, when we dare to take up space. And no class, another tired line meant to shame us when we don't smile and shrink. Townsend didn't gloat. She didn't disrespect anyone. She won. And suddenly that's a problem. So then when she says, let's see what happens when we play outside the United States, what are you really saying? that she only wins because of some imagined home court advantage? Or is it a warning that outside the United States, a black woman like Townsend will get put back in her place? That's not a tennis critique. That's racialized language. That's veiled aggression. And in that moment, pointing in her face, speaking down to her, dripping with entitlement, it wasn't just about losing a match. It was about punishing a black woman for daring to be excellent in a space that wasn't built for her. And through all of that, Townsend stood tall and said, I'll let my racket talk. That is grace. That's composure. That is what real class looks like. Now, I want to see that same professionalism from the United States Tennis Association and the U.S. Open leadership. Ostapenko should be fined. There needs to be disciplinary action because when black athletes are met with hostility, verbal or physical, and nothing is done, the message is clear. You're going to protect the game, but not the people in it. If the roles were reversed, if this behavior had been directed at a white player, it wouldn't even be up for debate. It would be action, immediate and loud. Racism in sports doesn't always show up in slurs. Sometimes it's in the tone, the words, the body language, the finger in the face, the need to diminish and dominate. And if the tennis world stays silent now, you're telling black athletes exactly where you stand.
Anyway, guys, go down in the comment section, share your thoughts. Love to know what you guys think about this story down in the comment section. But as always, please keep it respectful. You're on this channel, we're allowed to disagree, but do it in a very respectful way. So go ahead, feel free, share your thoughts. Love to know what you guys think. For me, like everybody has said, this is the same rhetoric that's been going on for years about black people, especially black women, that we're uneducated. We've been put in the box like success is not meant for us. This is the I know I've talked about this multiple times, that when they see a successful black woman in certain places, some people just can comprehend it that a black woman can be successful. And when we talk, this is just a clear reflection of that, because the truth is that there's I won't even say just white women, non-black women usually feel like because of the skin color, they are entitled to be more than black women. And the crazy thing is that this is why I love my African American women. Like you ladies are, I love the way you guys stand 10 toes. But this is also something I see in my society. And I would say a lot of African women will shrink who they are. Not all, but some African women have been raised with this mindset that there's some type of superiority that comes into it, that they are more superior than us because they are more superior than us. And the truth is that as a young girl growing up and seeing this type of thing of how as black people, especially as black women, we shrink who we are so that we are accepted by the white people, by the Westerners, by the colonizers. I love seeing things like this where a black woman keep her composure. The way she keep her composure is just hell, like chef's kiss. Because I know me, like the other lady said, I would have done something because I'm very reactive. I'm very present. Okay, but the way she kept it, I do admire it. I pray God gives me that type of grace so I can handle situations in such calm. Because the truth is that when you are very aware and very self-aware of this microaggression and micro racism that goes on, including in professional sports and even generally in the world, it's really, for someone of myself, it's really hard for me to stay quiet and don't do anything or not be reactive. But the fact that she allow her work to do the talking, it is what it is. And you see people, just like me, you see some people hear me talk and they're like, oh, you're from Nigeria, you speak good English, you speak good. I'm like, don't you know in Nigeria, like, English is our first language. It's the official language in Nigeria. But the truth, this is a thing that's been going on because they always want to paint us not educated. They can't even, a lot of people outside the continent cannot even comprehend that a black woman can be educated, a black woman can attain success, a black woman can do for herself what some white women or non-black women can do for themselves. So I really do appreciate the way she handled it, but clearly what is it, Jalena Osapenko. I'm not killing that name. Clearly she's not a professional, but this just reflects a lot. And I know this is just 2025, and some people are still out there saying that racism does not exist, or people don't know, nobody, slavery happened 400 years ago, black people are too play the victim when it comes to racism. But yeah, this is just it again in a very micro way, but in a louder way. Because how will you look a grown woman that just beats you up and beats you in the sport you are supposed to be good at? She beats your hands down, and then the first word that comes out from your mouth is that she's uneducated. Let's wait till we get out of the US. When you could have just said, okay, probably I was not prepared, or oh, you did a foul or something. It was education to bring her down, like they always do. Black women, keep your head up. You know, Tupac said, keep your head up. You guys know the song I'm singing. I'm trying to sing. But anyway, always keep your head up and always stand up for yourself. Always advocate for yourself. And if you're like quick like me, let's learn how to become and allow our work, who we are as a person, speak for us rather than shouting. Because I know myself. Anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think about this conversation down in the comment section. But as always, keep it respectful. Share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversation. So go ahead and share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push up my content for more people to see, and that will be you supporting this channel in this career. So go on and do that. Subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys in my next video. Deuces.